Welcome to the Gentle Nature channel. You're in the right place now. Nothing is expected of you. Nothing needs to be decided. If you feel like it later, you can leave a quiet like or a small comment, just to let this forest know you are here. It helps this place stay alive, but there is no rush and no obligation. For now, you can simply rest. You are already here. The forest doesn't ask how you arrived. It simply notices you. The air is cool, but not cold. It touches your skin softly, as if it already knows you. Above you, the canopy is wide and patient. Leaves overlap gently, creating a ceiling that filters the night. There is no sharp light here, only layers of shadow, soft darkness, and a feeling of being enclosed in something kind. As you inhale, the leaves above you respond, not in any dramatic way, just a barely perceptible lift, as if the forest is breathing in with you. As you exhale, the ground beneath you softens, roots relax, soil loosens its grip, not falling away, just becoming more welcoming. You don't need to do anything to make this happen. It has already begun. The forest breathes because you breathe, and you breathe because the forest does. This rhythm is old, much older than words, older than footsteps, older than memory. Somewhere nearby, a tree settles deeper into the earth. You can't hear it, but you can feel the sense of settling, the quiet certainty of weight being supported. There is no rush here. Time has slowed to something wider than minutes, something that doesn't measure itself. The forest is not waiting for morning. It is not counting hours. It exists in a long, continuous now, and you are allowed to join it. A gentle breeze moves through the branches. It doesn't travel anywhere in particular. It simply passes, leaf to leaf, space to space, like a thought that doesn't need to finish. You don't need to walk. You don't need to explore. You don't need to understand where you are. The forest understands for you. Your shoulders begin to drop, not because you told them to, but because there is no reason to hold them up anymore. Your jaw loosens slightly. Your tongue rests where it belongs. Even your breathing begins to find a slower shape, without effort, without instruction. Another inhale. The canopy opens just enough to let the night settle more deeply. Another exhale, and the roots beneath you press closer, not to hold, but to support. You are safe here, not because something is guarding you, but because nothing needs guarding. No sudden sounds, no unexpected movement, only the steady presence of trees that have seen storms, snow, heat, and long stretches of silence. They know how to stand without tension. They know how to bend without fear. They know how to rest while remaining alive. The forest knows how to carry weight. It has carried centuries. It has carried seasons. It has carried the slow turning of the earth itself. And now, it carries you. If at any point a thought drifts through your mind, that's okay. The forest does not try to stop thoughts. It simply lets them pass, the way wind passes through leaves, without grabbing, without keeping. A thought comes, and then it moves on, leaving the air unchanged. Somewhere deeper in the forest, something shifts. Not an animal, not a sound you need to name, just the quiet rearranging of life. As everything finds a more comfortable position, the ground beneath you feels steady, reliable, unmoving in the way only the earth can be. You might notice the temperature now, neither warm nor cold, just balanced, as if the forest adjusted itself to you without needing to be asked. Your breathing continues, slow natural, unforced. Inhale, leaves respond. Exhale, roots soften. You don't need to remember this rhythm. Your body already knows it. If you ever feel like sharing how this moment feels, or simply leaving a small sign that you were here, a like, a few words in the comments, even just a single symbol, it's always welcome. This place grows quietly through connection, through gentle presence, never through pressure. But for now, nothing is required. The forest remains. It does not watch you. It does not judge you. It simply stays, breathing, holding, existing alongside you. And as this part of the journey continues, the forest will grow quieter still, slower, deeper. Without any clear boundary, this moment will soften into the next and the next, until even listening feels optional. And you remain exactly where you are, supported, unhurried, and gently held by nature itself. The forest does not announce the next moment. It simply allows it to arrive. Nothing changes suddenly. Nothing needs to. The air feels a little heavier now. Not thick, just full, as if the forest has settled more deeply into itself and invited you to do the same. Your breathing continues on its own. No counting, no control, just a slow exchange between you and everything around you. Inhale. The leaves barely move. Exhale. The roots sink a fraction deeper. Somewhere far above, the night sky exists, but it feels distant now, unimportant. Here, beneath the canopy, the world is smaller and safer. The forest floor holds many layers, soft needles, fallen leaves, cool soil, and beneath all of that, stone that has not moved for longer than memory. You don't need to imagine it clearly. Your body understands solidity. It recognizes support without explanation. A sense of weightlessness begins to appear, not because you are floating, but because nothing is pulling at you anymore. No expectations, no plans, no unfinished edges. Even time seems to rest its attention elsewhere. The forest is very good at this, at continuing without effort, at existing without urgency. A tree nearby releases a quiet sound, not a crack, not a warning, just the gentle shift of wood settling into comfort. It feels familiar, like the sound a house makes at night, when everything inside is safe and still. Your thoughts, if they appear, are slower now. They arrive softened, rounded at the edges, easier to let go of. You don't need to follow them. They dissolve naturally, the way mist fades when the air warms, without resistance. The forest does not try to empty your mind. It simply fills the space around it so completely that thoughts lose their importance. Another breath moves through you, not deeper, just calmer. Inhale. Cool air touches your lungs gently. Exhale. Your body releases a little more weight into the ground. Muscles loosen in places you didn't realize were holding. Behind the eyes, around the neck, along the spine. The forest notices these changes not with attention, but with harmony. Everything here adjusts together. Somewhere, far away, the world continues to move quickly, but that world does not reach this place. Here, there is only continuity. Trees do not hurry toward morning. Roots do not rush toward water. Everything arrives when it arrives, and so do you. If this calm feels like something you'd like to return to, you're always welcome back. A quiet like, or a gentle comment, helps this forest stay open. But even without it, the forest remains what it is, a place of slow breathing, of steady ground, of silence that feels alive. As the forest continues to breathe with you, the edges of listening soften, and awareness becomes lighter, less defined. There is no clear line between this moment and the next one. The forest does not separate them. It simply continues and carries you with it. The forest continues without marking the moment. Nothing signals that time has moved forward, and that is exactly how it should be. The air around you feels slightly warmer now, not because the temperature changed, but because your body has stopped resisting it. Breath moves in and out of you like a tide that knows the shore by heart. No pause feels too long. No inhale feels unfinished. Inhale. The leaves respond, barely lifting in agreement. Exhale. The roots beneath you soften again, settling more deeply into the earth. The forest floor holds you patiently. It does not sink. It does not push back. It simply remains reliable, unchanging. Somewhere beneath the soil, water moves slowly, not flowing fast, just traveling, finding spaces, resting when it needs to. You don't hear it, but your body understands the idea of water at rest. Your spine begins to feel longer, as if gravity has loosened its grip just a little, not lifting you away, just allowing you to spread into comfort. The trees around you are tall, but they do not feel towering. Their height is calm, assured, like something that does not need to prove itself. Branches stretch outward in wide arcs, holding darkness gently between them. No sharp edges, no empty gaps. The night settles further. Sound becomes rare now, not absent, just distant, as if the forest has turned the volume down on the world. Your thoughts follow. If a memory drifts through, it arrives without weight. If a worry tries to appear, it feels out of place and fades before it can settle. The forest does not reject anything. It simply does not hold on. Another breath moves through you, slower than before, so natural you barely notice it happening. Inhale. The air feels clean, washed, as if it passed through leaves before reaching you. Exhale. Your chest softens. Your stomach loosens. Your legs grow heavier, resting more fully. You may notice the feeling of your hands now, the way fingers curl slightly on their own, the way palms release tension they've carried all day. The forest recognizes this posture. It is the posture of rest, of safety, of belonging. Nothing in this place is alert. Nothing is watching for danger. Even the animals nearby are settled, breathing in shallow, steady rhythms, trusting the night. Time stretches wider. Minutes lose their shape. They stop lining up one after another and begin to dissolve into a single long moment. The forest exists easily inside this kind of time. It was never meant for clocks. You might feel as if you are sinking, not downward, but inward, into a quieter version of yourself. There is no edge to reach, no bottom to find, only softness. The ground beneath you feels cooler now, a gentle contrast that invites stillness. It draws warmth from your body slowly, calmly, without urgency. Your breathing adjusts again, finding an even slower rhythm, one that feels almost shared. Inhale. Leaves respond. Exhale. Roots soften. This exchange continues without effort, without thought. If awareness begins to blur, that is welcome here. The forest does not require clarity. It welcomes drifting. It welcomes half-formed thoughts and moments where nothing is noticed at all. The space between breaths grows longer, not because you hold it, but because there is no need to rush into the next one. Your face feels smooth now, forehead relaxed, eyes heavy behind closed lids. the muscles around them letting go. Even your jaw feels supported, as if the night itself is holding it gently closed. The forest remains steady. Trees do not shift position. Roots do not search. Everything that needs to be done has already been done long ago. You are allowed to stop now, not sleeping yet, just no longer participating in effort. If you were to stay like this, the forest would continue exactly as it is. Nothing would be interrupted. A sense of quiet cooperation fills the space. You breathing, the forest breathing, neither leading, neither following, just sharing the same rhythm. If, at some distant point, you feel like letting others know this place helped you rest, a small sign is always welcome. A gentle like, a quiet comment, a simple word, not as a task, but as a soft echo, a way of saying you passed through safely. But for now, even that thought can fade. The forest grows quieter still, not empty, just deeply calm. And as this calm continues, the boundary between listening and resting softens even more, until effort becomes unnecessary and awareness begins to thin. The forest remains, breathing with you, carrying you gently forward. The forest does not move you forward. It simply stays and lets you sink more deeply into its stillness. Breathing happens somewhere in the background now. You're no longer following it. It follows itself. Inhale, so quiet it almost isn't noticed. Exhale, so soft it feels like release rather than motion. The space around you feels wider, not larger, just less defined. Edges blurred gently, the way shapes do in low light. The trees remain, but they no longer demand attention. They are presence without form, support without weight. The forest floor feels even steadier now, as if it has learned exactly how you need to be held. Nothing presses, nothing shifts. Somewhere far below, the earth turns slowly, not in a way you can sense, but in a way you can trust. It has been turning like this for a very long time. It knows how to continue without effort. Your body recognizes this knowledge. It begins to mirror it. Muscles soften further, not all at once, but in small waves. A release along the back, a loosening at the hips, a gentle heaviness in the legs. Each place that relaxes sends a quiet signal to the next. It is safe. You can let go here too. The forest does not rush this process. It allows it to unfold at its own pace, just like growth, just like rest. Sound has nearly disappeared now, not replaced by silence, but by something deeper, a steady absence of disturbance. If a sound does appear, it feels distant, unimportant, as if it belongs to another world entirely. Thoughts are slower still. They arrive like leaves drifting down, touching the ground, and immediately becoming part of it. No need to examine them, no need to remember them. They are absorbed. Your awareness becomes simpler, less detailed, more spacious. There is a sense of floating, not above the ground, but within the moment. The forest accepts this state easily. It is familiar with half sleep, with the soft place between being awake and letting go. Many things pass through this place each night. Animals resting, wind slowing, branches settling into comfort. You are just another presence here, welcomed without question. Breathing continues somewhere, gentle, automatic. Inhale. The forest responds without moving. Exhale. The ground remains. There is nothing more to follow now, no images to hold, no words to carry. Even the idea of listening begins to fade, not stopping, just becoming unnecessary. You're not drifting away from the forest. You are drifting deeper into it, into its patience, into its steadiness, into its long, quiet way of existing. If sleep begins to arrive, it does not interrupt anything. It fits perfectly here. And if awareness lingers a little longer, that is fine too. The forest does not prefer one over the other. It simply continues, breathing with you, holding you, as gently and as steadily as it always has. The forest remains. It does not check whether you are still listening. It does not need confirmation. Breathing has become very quiet now, so quiet it blends into the air itself. Inhale and exhale feel less like actions and more like a soft presence. The body knows what to do. It has known this long before today. Weight settles evenly. Nothing pulls. Nothing resists. The ground beneath you feels unchanged, steady in a way that does not ask to be noticed. It simply stays. The trees are still here, but they no longer feel separate from you. Their calm has spread the way darkness spreads at night, without effort, without direction. There is no need to picture anything now. Images can fade. Words can soften. The forest does not depend on imagination. It exists even when nothing is named. A deep quiet holds the space. Not silence, but something thicker, more supportive, like being underwater, without pressure, without depth. Time is no longer moving forward or backward. It has flattened into a single, gentle stretch. Moments no longer arrive. They simply are. If a thought tries to form, it dissolves before becoming complete. Not pushed away, just unnecessary. The mind has stopped searching, stopped holding, stopped asking. The forest is very familiar with this state. It lives here every night. Leaves rest. Roots remain still. Even the smallest movements have slowed to almost nothing. Your body follows. Heartbeat steady, unremarkable, safe, breath shallow, easy, unconcerned. There is no signal to stay awake, no signal to fall asleep, only a gentle permission to let things happen on their own. If sleep arrives now, it slips in quietly, without changing the scene. And if it doesn't, the forest is content to continue holding you exactly like this. Nothing ends here. Nothing begins. The forest breathes. You breathe. And the difference between the two grows softer and softer until it no longer matters at all. The forest does not notice the passing of another moment. It remains exactly as it is. Awareness feels thin now, like a veil of mist, present, but barely held. Breathing continues somewhere far back, steady, unremarkable, as natural as the night itself. Inhale, no effort. Exhale, no release to notice. The body feels settled into a shape that requires nothing, no adjustment, no movement, no correction. The ground holds without pressure. The air surrounds without touch. Everything has found its place. The trees are no longer objects. They are simply part of the stillness, tall, patient, indifferent to time. Nothing here needs your attention anymore, and nothing is taken away when attention fades. Thought has slowed to almost nothing, not gone, just quiet, resting. If a fragment appears, it drifts and disappears on its own, like breath on cool air. The forest accepts this easily. It was built for nights like this, for moments when awareness loosens its grip. The world feels distant now, not far away, just unimportant. There is no story unfolding, no direction to follow, no place to reach, only continuity. Breathing happens, the forest remains, and you are carried gently inside that sameness. If sleep takes you now, it does so without ceremony, without signal, without change. And if you hover just a little longer, that is just as welcome. The forest does not distinguish. It continues to breathe, slow, steady, unchanging, and holds you there, exactly as you are. The forest stays. Nothing asks for the next step. Nothing waits for a response. Breathing is barely a sensation now. It happens somewhere, not quite inside, not quite outside. Inhale, almost imperceptible. Exhale, already gone. The body feels distant in a comfortable way. Present, but no longer demanding attention. Weight exists, but it doesn't press. It simply rests where it belongs. The ground and the body understand each other now. There is no boundary to negotiate. The forest has grown very quiet, not because sound disappeared, but because listening is no longer needed. Leaves are still. Roots are still. Even the idea of movement has softened. Time has thinned to something transparent. It passes through without leaving marks. There is nothing to remember from this moment. Nothing to take with you, nothing to finish. Awareness floats, light, unattached. If a thought tries to form, it never fully arrives. It fades before it knows what it was meant to be. The forest is familiar with this softness, this gentle loosening of edges, this drifting without direction. It holds the space effortlessly. Breathing continues somewhere far below notice. Heartbeat steady, unconcerned, safe. There is no difference now between resting and listening and letting go. If sleep opens its door, it does so silently, and the forest does not change. If awareness remains, the forest remains too. Nothing ends, nothing begins. Only this steady, unmoving, quiet presence. The forest continues to hold the space without effort. It does not notice how long it has been. It does not measure. Breathing has settled into something very small now. So small it feels more like a background rhythm than an action. Inhale, soft, almost abstract. Exhale, already dissolving into the air. Your body feels arranged in the most comfortable way it could be. Not positioned, not adjusted, just naturally resting. There is no tension left to release, nothing waiting to soften. The ground beneath you feels constant, unchanging. It has been here for far longer than this moment, and it will remain long after. That knowledge is quiet, but deeply reassuring. The trees stand without awareness of standing. They do not hold themselves upright. They simply are. Their calm has spread everywhere now, into the soil, into the air, into you. There is no longer a clear sense of where your body ends and where the forest begins. Not because anything merged, but because nothing needs to be separate. Sound does not arrive here anymore. And if it does, it passes through without being noticed. The world feels padded, softened, as if everything sharp has been gently wrapped and set aside for the night. Thought is no longer forming in lines. It appears as faint impressions, unfinished, already fading. You do not follow them. You do not stop them. They simply don't matter. The forest is very good at this kind of quiet. It exists in it naturally, every night, every season. This is the place it returns to when nothing else is required. Your awareness has slowed to match it, not deliberately, not consciously. It just happened. Breathing continues somewhere beyond attention. Heartbeat steady, even, unconcerned. The body has accepted that it is safe, completely, without question. There is no need to listen closely now. No need to stay present. No need to let go. everything is already doing what it needs to do. If sleep arrives, it blends into this moment so smoothly, there is no point where it begins. And if it hasn't yet, there is no impatience here. The forest does not prefer one state over another. It does not hurry you. It remains breathing quietly, holding steadily, allowing everything to be exactly as it is. The forest does not shift. It does not deepen. It simply stays as it is, and that is enough. Awareness has become very light now, like a thin layer of fog resting close to the ground, present but not involved. Breathing continues without being noticed. It no longer needs observation. It has found its own quiet path. Inhale, a faint movement. Exhale, already finished. The body feels distant in a gentle way, not gone, just no longer asking for attention. Hands are still, feet are still. Even the sense of having a shape feels softer. The ground beneath you remains dependable, unchanging. It does not respond. It does not need to. The forest is comfortable with this kind of stillness. It lives here most of the time, between wind, between seasons, between moments. Nothing is expected now, not listening, not drifting, not sleeping. There is no task left. Thought has almost completely faded. What remains is not silence, but simplicity. No questions, no direction, no narrative, just a steady, quiet being. If a sound exists somewhere far away, it does not reach this place. And if it does not stay. The forest holds everything loosely, including you. Time is no longer felt. It does not pass. It does not pause. It simply is not relevant. The boundary between this moment and the next one has dissolved. There is no edge to cross. Sleep may arrive here, or it may already be here. The difference no longer matters. The forest does not mark the transition. It does not need to. It continues, steady, unchurried, breathing softly with everything that rests within it. The forest remains exactly where it is. It has not gone anywhere. It has not changed. What has softened is the need to notice. Breathing is now so gentle it feels like part of the space itself. Not inside you, not outside you, just happening. Inhale, a quiet presence. Exhale, a quiet release. The body rests without shape, without posture, without effort. There is no signal coming from it now, no discomfort, no instruction. The ground continues to support, without responding, without adjusting. It has done this countless times before. It knows how. The trees stand in a kind of patience that does not feel like waiting. They are not anticipating anything. They are complete as they are. This completeness spreads slowly, naturally, into the soil, into the air, into whatever part of you is still aware. Thought has thinned to almost nothing, not pushed away, just no longer useful. If something flickers through, it fades before it can take form, like a reflection that never becomes an image. The forest is quiet in a way that does not feel empty. It feels full, but undemanding. Nothing here needs your attention, and nothing is lost when attention drifts. Time has loosened completely now. It no longer holds moments together. It no longer separates them. There is only continuity. Rest does not begin here, and it does not end. It simply continues, the way the forest continues, without marking the moment, without needing awareness. If sleep deepens, it does so unnoticed. If awareness lingers faintly, it is held just as gently. The forest does not distinguish between the two. It breathes, slow, steady, and everything within it rests exactly as it is meant to. The forest holds the night in the same way it holds the day. without preference, without effort. Nothing here is trying to arrive anywhere. Nothing is trying to become something else. Breathing continues as a quiet exchange with the air, so soft now that it feels more like a suggestion than a movement. Inhale, a faint widening. Exhale, a gentle settling. The body has stopped checking itself, stopped scanning for signals, stopped asking questions. It has learned the language of this place, the language of still ground and patient trees and time that does not push forward. The forest floor remains cool and steady. It does not cradle you. It does not press against you. It simply exists beneath you with a certainty that feels deeply reassuring. Roots stretch slowly through the soil below, not growing, not searching, just resting in their long, familiar paths. They have been here through countless nights like this. They recognize the shape of rest. They recognize when a body has let go. The trees above are quiet silhouettes now, not forms to look at, just vertical calm. Their branches are still, their leaves are still. Even the smallest movements have settled into nothing. The forest has entered one of its deepest states, the one it visits when everything is safe enough to stop paying attention. Sound is almost impossible to locate now. If something exists, it is too distant, too unimportant to reach this place. Awareness drifts like a slow current, not pulling, not carrying, just moving because movement happens. Thought has dissolved into something much simpler, not silence, just absence of structure. There is no story forming, no images to follow, no sense of before or after. The mind has loosened its grip without being asked. The forest knows how to guide things into this state. It does it every night, with animals, with wind, with itself. You are simply part of that rhythm now. Breathing continues somewhere far beneath notice. Heartbeat steady, even, unconcerned. The body feels heavier, but also less defined, as if weight no longer needs a boundary. Arms rest, legs rest. The space behind the eyes rests. There is no effort to stay awake, and no effort to fall asleep. That decision has quietly disappeared. Time no longer stretches or compresses. It no longer exists as a sensation. There is only this continuous, unchanging presence. If sleep arrives now, it will not feel like a transition. There will be no edge, no shift. It will simply be another layer of the same calm. And if awareness remains, thin and distant, that too belongs here. The forest does not close its doors. It does not signal endings. It continues to breathe, slowly, steadily, holding the night exactly as it is, and holding you within it, without needing anything in return. The forest does not notice how deep the night has become. Depth is not something it measures. It simply continues to exist inside it. Breathing is now almost indistinguishable from the air itself. There is no sense of drawing breath in or letting it go. Only the quiet fact that it happens. Inhale and exhale are no longer separate moments. They blur together like waves too gentle to be counted. The body feels settled beyond comfort. Comfort still implies awareness. This is something softer, a state where nothing asks to be improved. There is no signal from muscles, no message from joints, no quiet tension hiding anywhere. Everything that could relax has already done so. The ground beneath you feels infinite in its steadiness, not wide, not deep, just endlessly reliable. It does not react to your weight. It does not adjust. It does not need to. The forest understands gravity intimately. It has lived inside it forever. and it lends that understanding to you. Roots rest in the soil like long memories. They are not moving. They are not waiting. They are simply present, exactly where they belong. Above, the trees are no longer shapes or forms. They are a sense of vertical calm, a quiet assurance that something can stand for a very long time without strain. Branches hold darkness gently. Leaves do not stir. Even the idea of wind has faded. The forest has entered its deepest stillness, the kind that comes only when everything feels safe enough to stop listening. Sound does not travel here. If something happens far away, it belongs to another layer of the world. This place is insulated from urgency, from interruption, from demand. Awareness floats lightly now, not attached to the body, not attached to the forest, just present without responsibility. Thought has dissolved into fragments too faint to follow. They do not form sentences. They do not form images. They appear and disappear without meaning. The forest does not try to quiet the mind. It simply offers so much steadiness that the mind forgets why it was active. Breathing continues in the background, heartbeat steady, unremarkable. Nothing needs to be monitored. Nothing needs to be adjusted. This moment does not require participation. Time has completely loosened its grip. There is no sense of passing, no sense of waiting. The night does not progress here, it rests. If sleep begins to deepen, it does so invisibly. There is no shift to notice, no threshold to cross. And if awareness remains faintly present, that too is held without question. The forest does not distinguish between states. It welcomes all of them. It continues, as it always has, breathing slowly, holding quietly, allowing everything within it to rest exactly as it is. The forest continues in the same gentle way. It has no need to change, no need to respond. Everything that could settle has already settled. Breathing happens somewhere beyond attention now. It is no longer felt as air moving in and out. It is simply part of the quiet background, like the presence of night itself. The body feels distant, not separate, just no longer defined by edges. There is no clear outline of hands or feet, no strong sense of where one part ends and another begins. The ground beneath you is still there, unmoving, unquestioning. It holds without effort, without awareness, without intention. The forest floor has done this for countless nights, for countless resting bodies, for animals, for roots, for stones. It recognizes this stillness. It knows when something has stopped asking. The trees above are no longer tall or wide. They are simply presence, a quiet, vertical balance that does not intrude. Branches remain where they are. Leaves rest without sound. Nothing stirs. Even the air feels settled, not heavy, just calm. There is no longer any sense of listening, no sense of waiting for the next word, no anticipation. Awareness has thinned to something very soft, like a gentle glow behind closed eyes. Present, but fading. Thought has almost completely dissolved. What remains is not thought, but space, a wide, comfortable emptiness that does not feel empty at all. The forest exists easily inside this space. It does not fill it. It does not interrupt it. It simply belongs. Time has lost its direction. There is no forward. There is no backward. Moments no longer follow each other. They rest together, unseparated. The night does not deepen here. It does not move toward morning. It stays. If sleep arrives now, it does not announce itself. It blends in perfectly. There is no moment of crossing over, no sensation of leaving, only continuation. And if some small thread of awareness remains, it is held just as gently, without pressure, without expectation. The forest does not mind either way. It continues to breathe, slow, steady, without needing to be noticed. And everything within it, roots, soil, trees, and you, rest together in the same quiet rhythm. The forest remains exactly as it is. It has no reason to change, no reason to move forward, no reason to look back. Breathing continues somewhere far beyond awareness now. It is no longer something you follow. It follows itself, quietly, faithfully, like a rhythm older than memory. Inhale and exhale blur together. They no longer feel separate. They are simply part of the same gentle motion, like the slow rise and fall of the land itself. Your body has stopped holding its shape, not dissolving, just resting so deeply that shape is no longer important. Arms lie where they are. Legs remain heavy and still. The space behind your eyes feels wide, open, unoccupied. The ground beneath you does not respond. It does not press back. It does not shift. It simply exists, solid, unquestioning. This steadiness spreads upward from the soil into the body, into whatever part of you is still aware. Roots rest beneath the surface. They are not growing now. They are not searching. They are simply present, exactly where they have always been. They understand stillness deeply. They live inside it. Above, the trees stand in perfect ease. They do not hold themselves upright. They do not balance. They simply remain. Branches are quiet silhouettes. Leaves do not move. Even the idea of motion has softened. The forest has entered its deepest state, the one it visits when nothing is required, when nothing needs watching, when everything feels safe enough to rest completely. Sound has almost entirely disappeared, not replaced by silence, but by something softer, a thick quiet that absorbs anything that touches it. If a sound exists far away, it does not reach this place, and if it does, it fades before becoming real. Awareness drifts lightly now, not attached to thought, not attached to sensation, just present, without responsibility. Thought no longer forms lines or images. What remains are faint impressions, unfinished, already dissolving. The mind has stopped asking what comes next. It has forgotten why it needed to. The forest never asks this question. It simply continues. Breathing happens, heartbeat happens, the body remains. Nothing needs guidance. Nothing needs correction. This moment does not require participation. Time has lost its structure here. There is no sense of passing minutes, no feeling of waiting. The night does not progress. It rests. If sleep begins to deepen, it does so invisibly. There is no edge to cross, no moment to notice. And if awareness lingers, thin and distant, that is held just as gently. The forest does not distinguish between states. It welcomes all of them equally. It continues to breathe slowly, steadily, without effort. The soil remains cool and dependable. The trees remain upright and calm. The air remains soft and unchanging. Everything has found its place. There is no longer a sense of being held. Holding implies effort. This is simpler than that. This is belonging. The forest does not surround you. It includes you, not as something separate, but as part of its quiet existence. You do not rest in the forest. You rest as part of it. Breathing continues, unnoticed, uncounted. Awareness grows thinner, lighter, less defined. Words lose their shape. Meaning softens. Attention drifts. There is no instruction here, no invitation, no direction, only permission. Quiet, unspoken, complete. If sleep has already arrived, nothing changes. The forest remains. If sleep arrives later, nothing changes then either. There is no beginning, no ending, only this steady continuation. The same calm moment, stretching gently without limit. The forest stays with you. It does not fade. It does not move on. It simply remains, the way something ancient remains, without effort, without awareness of doing so. Breathing is no longer something you feel happening. It is only something that is, like the presence of night, like gravity. Inhale and exhale are no longer moments. They are part of a single, continuous flow, so smooth it cannot be divided. Your body feels settled beyond rest, not relaxed. Relaxation still implies change. This is deeper than that. This is arrival. There is no tension left to soften, no place left to sink. Everything that could let go already has. The ground beneath you is endlessly patient. It has never hurried anything. It has never asked for movement. It carries weight without noticing it. And so, it carries you. Roots beneath the soil lie in quiet patterns. They do not grow here. They do not withdraw. They simply exist. Woven into the earth's memory, they know this stillness. They recognize it immediately. Above, the trees are no longer perceived as forms. They are not tall. They are not wide. They are simply stability, vertical calm, unmoving presence. Branches do not sway. Leaves do not rustle. The forest has stopped expressing itself outwardly. It has turned inward into its deepest quiet. Sound does not belong here anymore, and neither does effort. Awareness has thinned to something barely there, not disappearing, just no longer attached to anything. Thought has dissolved completely, not replaced by silence, but by space, wide, unoccupied, gentle. The mind has stopped holding itself together. It no longer needs structure. It no longer needs direction. The forest never needed these things. And now, neither do you. Time has released you. There is no sense of before, no sense of after. The night does not deepen. It rests, exactly as it is. If sleep settles more fully now, it does not announce itself. There is no crossing over, and if some faint awareness remains, hovering, unattached, that is just as welcome. The forest does not prefer sleep over wakefulness. It does not measure states. It simply holds. Breathing continues somewhere, everywhere, nowhere in particular. The body remains safe. The ground remains steady. The forest remains whole. Nothing is missing. Nothing needs to happen. This moment does not move forward. It gently continues, stretching softly, without edges, without end. The forest remains, and it remains without effort. There is no sense of holding time together anymore, no sense of moving through moments. Everything has settled into a single, continuous presence. Breathing happens somewhere beyond attention. It is not followed. It is not guided. It simply unfolds on its own, quietly, faithfully. Inhale and exhale no longer feel like opposites. They are part of the same slow motion, like the gentle rise and fall of land beneath distant oceans, too gradual to notice, too constant to interrupt. Your body has completely stopped asking for anything. No signal rises from muscles. No message comes from joints. Even the sense of posture is softened into irrelevance. Arms rest wherever they are. Legs remain heavy and still. The face is smooth, unexpressive, unheld. Behind the eyes there is only space, not darkness, not light, just openness. The ground beneath you does not feel firm or soft anymore. Those are qualities that require attention. Now there is simply support, unquestioned, unconditional. The forest floor has held countless forms like this. Animals curled into sleep, fallen branches resting into soil, stones pressed into place by time. It recognizes this state immediately. Nothing needs to be adjusted. Roots beneath the surface lie in long, quiet paths. They are not growing. They are not reaching. They are simply present, exactly where they belong. They have learned patience from the earth itself. They know how to stay without effort. Above, the trees are no longer perceived as shapes. They are not tall. They are not wide. They are simply stability, a calm vertical presence that does not intrude, that does not lean, that does not sway. Branches are still, leaves are still. Even the smallest movements have resolved into nothing. The forest has entered the state it knows best, the one it returns to when there is no reason to remain alert, when the night is safe enough for everything to rest completely. Sound does not arrive here anymore. And if something happens far away, it belongs to another layer of the world. It cannot cross into this place. This quiet is not fragile. It does not break. It absorbs. Awareness drifts lightly now, not attached to the body, not attached to the forest. Just present without responsibility. Thought no longer forms words. No images rise. No memory pulls attention forward or back. What remains is not thought, but space where thought used to be. The mind has let go of structure. It has forgotten why it needed to hold itself together. The forest never needed that structure. And now, neither do you. Breathing continues somewhere beyond noticing. Heartbeat remains steady, even unremarkable. Nothing is being monitored. Nothing is being checked. This moment does not require participation. It does not ask you to stay awake. It does not ask you to fall asleep. Those distinctions no longer matter here. Time has completely released its grip. There is no forward movement, no backward reflection, no sense of waiting. The night does not deepen. It rests. If sleep has already arrived, there is no sign of it. No boundary was crossed. No transition was marked. And if awareness lingers faintly, thin as mist close to the ground, that is held just as gently. The forest does not prefer one state over another. It does not measure depth. It does not count moments. It simply continues. The soil remains cool and dependable. The trees remain upright and calm. The air remains soft and unchanged. Everything is exactly where it needs to be. There is no longer a feeling of being held. Holding implies effort. This is simpler than that. This is belonging. You do not rest inside the forest. You are not visiting it. You are not separate from it. You rest as part of its quiet existence. Breathing continues, uncounted, unnoticed. Awareness thins further, edges soften, definition fades. Words lose meaning, meaning loses importance. Attention dissolves into stillness. There is no instruction here, no invitation, no direction to follow, only a quiet permission, unspoken, complete. If sleep deepens further, nothing changes. The forest remains. If awareness dissolves completely, nothing changes. The forest remains. There is no ending here, no conclusion, no final moment. Only this steady continuation. The same calm presence stretching gently, without edges, without effort, without end. The forest continues in the same way it always has, not forward, not backward, simply continuing. Nothing announces the passing of time here. No sound marks it. No movement measures it. The night does not advance. It settles. Breathing exists somewhere beyond awareness now. Not something you feel. Not something you follow. Just a quiet exchange happening on its own. like the slow circulation of air through leaves long after the wind has gone. Inhale and exhale are no longer distinct. They are part of one gentle rhythm, too smooth to divide, too constant to notice. Your body has become very still, not rigid, not frozen, just fully at rest. Muscles no longer communicate. Joints offer no signals. Even the idea of comfort has faded because comfort requires comparison, and comparison no longer exists. Arms rest wherever they have settled. Legs remain heavy and unmoving. The weight of the body feels evenly distributed, as if gravity itself has softened. The face holds no expression now, jaw unheld, forehead smooth, the space behind the eyes wide and empty, not dark, not bright, just open. The ground beneath you remains unchanged. It does not cradle. It does not press back. It simply stays, solid and dependable, as it has always been. The forest floor understands this state deeply. It has known it for millions of years. It has held animals curled into sleep, trees fallen and returned to soil, stones resting into place. Nothing surprises it anymore. Roots lie beneath the surface in long, quiet patterns. They are not growing now. They are not reaching for water or light. They are simply present, woven into the earth, unmoving and complete. They know how to exist without effort. They know how to wait without anticipation. They know how to stay. Above, the trees are no longer perceived as forms. They are not tall. They are not wide. They are simply steadiness, a vertical calm that does not intrude, a presence that does not lean or sway. They stand because standing is what they do, not because they are trying. Branches remain still, leaves remain still. Even the smallest vibrations have faded into nothing. The forest has entered its deepest state, the one it returns to when everything feels safe enough to stop paying attention. Sound does not travel here anymore, and if something happens far away, it belongs to another layer of the world. It does not reach this place. This quiet is not delicate. It does not break. It absorbs. Awareness drifts lightly now, thin and distant, not attached to body or thought, not anchored to sensation. Thought has dissolved completely. No words form, no images rise, no memories pull attention forward or back. What remains is not silence, but space, wide, unoccupied, supportive. The mind has stopped holding itself together. Structure has fallen away naturally, without collapse, without effort. The forest never needed structure, and now, neither do you. Breathing continues somewhere beyond noticing. Heartbeat remains steady and even. Nothing is being monitored. Nothing is being checked. This moment does not require participation. It does not ask you to stay awake. It does not ask you to fall asleep. Those distinctions no longer matter here. Time has completely released its grip. There is no forward movement, no backward reflection, no sense of waiting for anything to arrive. The night does not deepen, it rests. If sleep has already arrived, there was no sign of it, no boundary crossed, no transition marked. And if awareness lingers faintly, like mist close to the ground, that is held just as gently. The forest does not prefer one state over another. It does not measure depth. It does not count moments. It simply continues. The soil remains cool and dependable. The trees remain upright and calm. The air remains soft and unchanged. Everything is exactly where it needs to be. There is no longer a feeling of being held. Holding implies effort. This is simpler than that. This is belonging. You are not inside the forest. You are not visiting it. You are not separate from it. You rest as part of its quiet existence. Breathing continues, uncounted, unnoticed. Awareness thins further, edges soften, definition fades. Words lose meaning, meaning loses importance. Attention dissolves into stillness. There is no instruction here, no invitation, no direction to follow. Only a quiet permission, unspoken, complete. If sleep deepens further, nothing changes. The forest remains. If awareness dissolves completely, nothing changes. The forest remains. There is no ending here, no conclusion, no final moment. Only this steady continuation. The same calm presence stretching gently, layer after layer, without edges, without effort, without end. The forest does not notice that this moment continues. Continuing is simply what it does. Nothing has shifted, nothing needs to. Breathing remains far beyond awareness now, not slow, not fast, just happening. The way night happens, the way gravity happens. There is no sense of drawing breath in or letting it go. Those ideas belong to an earlier layer of attention. Now, there is only a gentle rhythm that does not ask to be followed. Your body feels settled into the simplest possible state. Not heavy, not light, just present, without demand. The idea of posture has completely disappeared. There is no correct position, no need to adjust. The ground beneath you remains steady in a way that cannot be improved upon. It does not respond. It does not react. It simply exists, reliable beyond question. This reliability moves upward quietly, through the body, through whatever part of awareness remains. Roots beneath the soil lie without intention. They are not growing. They are not withdrawing. They are resting in the paths they have followed for a very long time. They are familiar with this depth of stillness. They recognize when nothing is required. Above, the trees are no longer sensed individually. They are not many. They are not few. They are simply presence. A calm vertical balance that does not intrude and does not retreat. Branches do not sway. Leaves do not shift. Even the memory of movement has softened. The forest has moved into a state where nothing needs to pay attention anymore, where awareness itself can rest. Sound does not arrive here, and silence is not noticed. Both ideas have lost their meaning. Awareness has thinned even further, not drifting away, just becoming unnecessary. Thought does not attempt to form. There are no fragments left to dissolve. Nothing rises, nothing falls. The mind has completely stopped organizing experience. There is no experience left to organize. The forest exists comfortably in this simplicity. It has always known how. Breathing continues somewhere beyond noticing. Heartbeat remains steady, calm, unremarkable. Nothing is being checked. Nothing is being held together. This moment does not ask for presence. It does not ask for release. It simply remains open. Time has no shape here, no direction, no distance. The night does not move toward morning. It rests exactly where it is. If sleep is deep now, there is no awareness of it. If awareness is faintly present, there is no need to name it. The forest does not distinguish. It remains unchanging, patient, complete. The soil remains cool, the trees remain upright, the air remains soft and still. Everything continues exactly as it should. There is no effort, no intention, no end, only this quiet continuation, holding itself without needing to be noticed. The forest stays in the same gentle state. It does not deepen, it does not lighten. It simply remains as it is. Breathing is no longer something that happens to you. It happens as part of the space, like a quiet movement inside the night itself. There is no beginning to it, no ending, just a soft, continuous presence. Your body feels so still that it no longer feels separate from the ground beneath it, not merged, not disappearing, just no longer outlined. Arms and legs rest without identity. They are not heavy, they are not light. They are simply there, without needing to be noticed. The ground remains steady and indifferent, not cold, not warm, just reliable. It has held countless nights like this, countless moments of deep rest. It knows exactly how to stay. Roots beneath the soil remain quiet. They do not stretch. They do not pull. They rest inside the earth's long memory. They have nothing to accomplish, nothing to reach for. Above, the trees are no longer perceived as separate beings. They are not trunks or branches or leaves. They are a single sense of calm, vertical presence, stillness standing upright. There is no movement in them now, and no expectation of movement. The forest has released even the idea of listening. It does not attend to the night. It simply exists within it. Sound has no path into this place, and silence is not something to notice. Awareness has become extremely thin, like a faint glow that does not illuminate anything. Present, but not engaged. Thought does not arise. There is nothing left for it to do. The mind has gently stepped aside, not pushed, not forced, just finished. Breathing continues somewhere far away. Heartbeat remains calm and steady. These things no longer ask for attention. Time does not stretch or compress. It has no direction here. The night is not moving toward anything. It is simply resting, the way the forest rests, the way the earth rests beneath it. If sleep has fully taken over, there is no sign of it. If awareness remains faintly, there is no reason to hold it. Both are equally welcome. Both belong here. The forest does not mark transitions. It does not draw lines. It continues, quietly, patiently, without effort, holding everything in the same gentle way. The silence in the forest does not deepen. It simply allows you to sink into it a little more. Night here does not move. It does not advance. It does not pull time behind it. It simply is, and that is enough. Your breathing stopped being something to notice a long time ago. It happens on its own now, the way the earth turns, without witnesses, without effort. Inhale and exhale no longer have edges. They are not separate moments. They have blended into one soft, continuous rhythm, like the slow sway of branches after the wind has already passed. Your body rests quietly, not heavy, not light, just present, without needing definition. There is no urge to move, no signal asking for adjustment. Every part of you has found a place where nothing is required. The ground beneath you does not feel firm or soft anymore. Those are ideas that belong to attention. Now, there is simply support, unquestioned, unchanging. The forest floor has known this state for a very long time. It has held animals curled into sleep, trees fallen gently into soil, stones pressed into place by centuries of patience. It recognizes this stillness immediately. Nothing surprises it. Beneath the surface, roots rest in long, quiet paths. They are not growing now. They are not searching. They are simply present, woven into the earth's memory. They know how to stay without effort. They know how to wait without expecting anything. Above you, the trees no longer appear as shapes. They are not tall. They are not wide. They are simply steadiness, a vertical calm that does not intrude, a presence that does not lean or sway. They stand because standing is natural to them, not because they are trying. Branches are still, leaves are still. Even the idea of movement has softened and faded. The forest has entered one of its deepest states. the one it reaches when everything feels safe enough to stop paying attention. Sound does not travel here, and silence is not something to notice. Both ideas have dissolved. Awareness has grown very thin now, not drifting away, just becoming unnecessary. Thought does not attempt to form. There are no fragments left to dissolve. Nothing rises, nothing falls. The mind has stopped organizing experience. There is no experience left to organize. The forest exists easily inside this simplicity. It has always known how. Breathing continues somewhere far beyond noticing. Heartbeat remains steady, even unremarkable. Nothing is being monitored. Nothing is being checked. This moment does not ask you to stay awake. It does not ask you to fall asleep. Those distinctions no longer matter here. Time has lost its structure completely. There is no forward, no backward, no sense of waiting. The night does not deepen, it rests. If sleep has already arrived, there was no sign of it. No boundary crossed, no transition marked. And if a faint awareness lingers like mist close to the ground, it is held just as gently. The forest does not prefer one state over another. It does not measure depth. It does not count moments. It simply continues. The soil remains cool and dependable. The trees remain upright and calm. The air remains soft and unchanged. Everything is exactly where it needs to be. There is no longer a feeling of being held. Holding implies effort. This is simpler than that. This is belonging. You are not inside the forest. You're not visiting it. You're not separate from it. You rest as part of its quiet existence. Breathing continues, uncounted, unnoticed. Awareness thins further, edges soften, definition fades, words lose meaning, meaning loses importance. Attention dissolves into stillness. There is no instruction here, no invitation, no direction to follow, only a quiet permission, unspoken, complete. If sleep deepens further, nothing changes. The forest remains. If awareness dissolves completely, nothing changes. The forest remains. There is no ending here, no conclusion, no final moment. Only this steady continuation, the same calm presence stretching gently, without edges, without effort, without end. The forest does not notice that another stretch of time has passed. It does not mark it. It does not separate it from what came before. Everything remains inside the same quiet continuity. Breathing exists, but far away from attention now, not slow, not fast, simply present, like the slow movement of the planet beneath everything. Inhale and exhale are no longer events. They are part of a single, uninterrupted flow, so smooth it cannot be divided, so familiar it no longer needs recognition. Your body has settled into a state beyond comfort. Comfort still compares one sensation to another. Here, comparison has dissolved. Arms rest without weight. Legs rest without direction. The spine lies in a position that requires nothing further. There is no impulse to adjust, no message rising from within. Every system has quietly agreed to stop communicating. The ground beneath you feels endless in its reliability, not firm, not soft. Those qualities belong to awareness. Here, there is only support. The forest floor has held countless beings in this exact way. Animals folded into sleep, leaves returning to soil, trees settling after storms. It knows this stillness intimately. It does not question it. Beneath the surface, roots rest in slow, patient lines. They are not reaching for water. They are not growing toward light. They are simply present, woven into the earth's long memory. Roots understand how to remain without effort. They understand how to wait without expectation. Above, The trees are no longer perceived individually. They are not trunks or branches or leaves. They are a single presence, quiet, upright, unchanging. A calm vertical balance that does not intrude, that does not lean, that does not sway. Branches remain still, leaves remain still. Even the air between them feels settled. The forest has entered a state where nothing needs attention, a state it visits when the night is deep enough and nothing feels uncertain. Sound does not arrive here, and silence is not noticed. Both ideas have faded. Awareness has become very thin now, not disappearing, simply no longer attached. Thought does not form. Images do not arise. Memory does not pull the mind backward. Anticipation does not pull it forward. The mind has gently stopped organizing experience. There is no experience left to organize. The forest exists easily in this simplicity. It has always lived here. Breathing continues somewhere beyond noticing. Heartbeat remains steady, even, unremarkable. Nothing is being monitored. Nothing is being corrected. This moment does not ask you to stay awake. It does not ask you to fall asleep. Those ideas no longer belong here. Time has lost all structure. There is no forward movement, no backward reflection, no sense of waiting. The night does not deepen. It rests exactly as it is. If sleep has already arrived, there was no moment of crossing, no edge, no signal. And if awareness lingers faintly, thin as mist near the ground, it is held just as gently. The forest does not prefer one state over another. It does not measure depth. It does not count moments. It simply remains. The soil stays cool and dependable. The trees stay upright and calm. The air stays soft and unchanged. Everything is exactly where it needs to be. There is no longer a feeling of being held. Holding implies effort. This is simpler than that. This is belonging. You're not inside the forest. You're not visiting it. You're not separate from it. You rest as part of its quiet existence. Breathing continues, uncounted, unnoticed. Awareness thins even further. Edges soften. Definition fades. Words lose meaning. Meaning loses importance. Attention dissolves into stillness. There is no instruction here, no invitation, no direction to follow, only a quiet permission, unspoken, complete. If sleep deepens further, nothing changes. The forest remains. If awareness dissolves completely, nothing changes. The forest remains. There is no ending here, no conclusion, no final moment. Only this steady continuation. The same calm presence stretching gently, layer by layer, without edges, without effort, without end. The forest continues without noticing itself. There is no awareness of continuation here. It simply stays in the same quiet state, unchanged, uninterrupted. Breathing exists somewhere far in the background now. It is not slow or fast. It no longer carries a rhythm you can follow. It has become part of the night itself. Inhale and exhale are no longer separate moments. They are one gentle movement, so smooth it has no beginning, so constant it has no end. Your body feels settled in a way that cannot be improved, not relaxed, not heavy, not light, just fully at rest. There's no sense of limbs anymore, no clear outline of hands or feet. The idea of shape has softened and faded. The ground beneath you remains steady, not supportive. Support implies effort. This is simpler than that. It is certainty. The forest floor has known certainty for a very long time. It has held nights like this through countless seasons, through cold and warmth, through rain and drought, through silence and sound. It knows exactly how to remain. Roots beneath the soil lie without intention. They are not growing. They are not reaching. They are not waiting. They are simply present, woven into the earth's long, patient memory. Above, the trees no longer feel tall or wide. They are no longer forms at all. They are stability without shape, a quiet vertical presence that does not lean, does not sway, does not need attention. Branches remain still. Leaves remain still. Even the air between them feels settled, as if it has found a place to rest. The forest has moved beyond alertness, beyond listening, beyond awareness of itself. This is the state it returns to when nothing feels uncertain anymore. Sound does not reach this place, and silence is not something to notice. Both ideas have dissolved into the same calm. Awareness has become very thin now, not fading away, just becoming unnecessary. Thought does not arise. There are no fragments left to dissolve. Nothing forms. Nothing fades. The mind has stopped arranging experience. There is nothing left to arrange. The forest exists easily inside this simplicity. It has always known how. Breathing continues somewhere beyond noticing. Heartbeat remains steady, even unremarkable. Nothing is being monitored. Nothing is being checked. This moment does not ask anything of you, not attention, not release, not surrender. Those ideas no longer apply here. Time has lost all structure. There is no forward movement, no backward reflection, no sense of waiting for anything to happen. The night does not deepen, it rests. If sleep has fully arrived, there was no sign of it. No transition, no boundary crossed. And if awareness lingers faintly, like a distant glow, it is held just as gently. The forest does not distinguish, it does not measure, it does not prefer, it simply remains. The soil stays cool and dependable, the trees stay upright and calm, the air stays soft and unchanged. Everything is exactly where it needs to be. There is no longer a feeling of being held. Holding implies effort. This is simpler. This is belonging. You are not inside the forest. You are not separate from it. You are not visiting. You rest as part of its quiet existence. Breathing continues, uncounted, unnoticed. Awareness thins further, edges soften, definition fades. Words lose meaning, meaning loses importance. Attention dissolves into stillness. There is no instruction here, no invitation, no direction. Only a quiet permission, unspoken, complete. If sleep deepens, nothing changes. The forest remains. If awareness dissolves completely, nothing changes. The forest remains. There is no ending here, no conclusion, no final moment. Only this steady continuation, the same calm presence stretching gently, without edges, without effort, without end. The forest does not shift into anything new. It does not progress. It does not retreat. It simply continues to be exactly as it is. Breathing has become indistinguishable from the space around you. There is no sense of air moving in or out. Only the quiet certainty that it continues. The way the night continues. The way the earth continues beneath everything. Your body no longer feels like an object resting somewhere. It feels like a settled presence, not located, not outlined, just there, without needing to be defined. There is no awareness of muscles now, no signal from joints, no sense of posture or alignment. Everything that could soften has already softened. The ground beneath you remains absolute in its steadiness. It does not respond. It does not adapt. It does not need to. It has carried mountains. It has carried oceans. Carrying you requires no effort at all. The forest floor understands this depth of rest. It has held it for longer than memory. For animals sleeping through winter nights, for trees fallen and returned to soil, for stones pressed into place by time itself. Nothing here is unfamiliar. Roots beneath the surface lie in quiet, ancient patterns. They are not active, they are not dormant, they simply are. They know how to remain without tension. They know how to exist without anticipation. Above, the trees are no longer perceived as individual forms. They are not separate. They are not many. They are a single, calm presence, upright, unmoving, complete. Branches do not sway. Leaves do not whisper. Even the air feels settled, as if it has found a place to rest. The forest has moved beyond alertness, beyond listening, beyond awareness of itself. This is the state it reaches when nothing needs to be watched, when nothing needs to be protected, when everything feels safe enough to rest completely. Sound has no path into this place, and silence is no longer something to notice. Both have dissolved into the same deep quiet. Awareness has thinned to the point of transparency. It is still present, but it does not attach to anything. Thought does not arise. Memory does not return. Expectation does not appear. The mind has released its structure entirely, not because it was asked to, but because it no longer has a reason to hold it. The forest has always lived this way, and now you are allowed to as well. Breathing continues somewhere beyond noticing. Heartbeat remains steady, even unremarkable. Nothing is being checked, nothing is being guided. This moment does not ask you to do anything at all. Time has lost its meaning completely. There is no sense of passing, no sense of waiting. The night does not deepen, it does not move toward morning. It rests exactly as it is. If sleep is deep now, there is no awareness of it. If awareness lingers faintly, there is no need to hold it. Both belong equally. The forest does not distinguish between them. It does not measure depth. It does not mark transitions. It simply remains. The soil stays cool and dependable. The trees stay upright and calm. The air stays soft and unchanged. Everything is exactly where it needs to be. There is no longer a sense of being held. Holding implies effort. This is simpler. This is belonging. You are not inside the forest. You're not separate from it. You're not visiting. You rest as part of its quiet existence. Breathing continues, uncounted, unnoticed. Awareness thins further still. Edges soften completely. Definition dissolves. Words fade. Meaning fades with them. Attention melts into stillness. There is no instruction here, no invitation, no direction to follow. Only a quiet permission, unspoken, complete. If sleep deepens further, nothing changes. The forest remains. If awareness dissolves completely, nothing changes. The forest remains. There is no ending here, no conclusion, no final moment. Only this steady continuation. The same calm presence stretching gently, without edges, without effort, without end. The forest does not close this journey. It does not mark an ending. It simply becomes quieter until even the idea of continuation feels unnecessary. Nothing remains to be followed now. Nothing remains to be held. Breathing happens somewhere so distant, it no longer feels like breathing. It feels like the natural movement of the world itself. Steady, unconcerned, eternal. There is no inhale to notice, no exhale to release. Only a soft presence, rising and falling beyond awareness. Your body is no longer something you inhabit. It is not heavy, it is not light, it is not defined. It has returned to a state of simple existence, the same way stones exist, the same way soil exists. without question, without effort. The ground beneath you is no longer beneath. There is no above or below, no direction at all, only stability, so complete it no longer needs to be felt. Roots rest in the earth without memory of movement. Trees stand without memory of growth. The forest has forgotten the difference between change and stillness. This is not sleep, and it is not wakefulness. Those words belong to another place. Here, there is only being, quiet, wide, undisturbed. Awareness has thinned until it is almost nothing, not gone, just no longer necessary. Thought does not appear, not because it is stopped, but because there is nothing left for it to do. No past calls you back. No future pulls you forward. Time has loosened completely. It does not move. It does not pause. It is simply dissolved into the same calm presence as everything else. If sleep takes you now, there is no moment where it begins, no doorway, no crossing. And if awareness fades entirely, nothing is lost. The forest remains. It remains without witness, without sound, without need. Soil cool and patient, trees upright and effortless, air soft and unchanged. Nothing concludes, nothing resolves. The forest does not end, it continues. So quietly, so completely, that even the idea of continuation slowly disappears.